Welcome back to Underwater Math. Today we will be building up our skills in comparing and ordering fractions. Fractions are used to represent a part of a whole. The bottom number of a fraction, called the denominator, shows how many equal parts it takes to make the whole. The top number represents the number of parts being described. It is called the numerator. The model represents 2/3. A mixed number is a mix of a whole number and a fractional part. The 1 in the mixed number represents one whole, and the fraction 1/2 represents one part out of two parts. When comparing fractions, you can draw models to determine which fraction is larger. When comparing the models, they must be the same exact size. Look at the denominator of the fraction 1/2. It tells us for this model we need to split it into two equal parts. The numerator tells us that one of the two parts is filled in. For the second fraction, the denominator is 4. This means the model will be split into 4 equal parts. The numerator is 3, so 3 parts out of the 4 need to be shaded in. Now we look at the models to determine which fraction is larger. 1/2 is less than 3/4. Number lines can also be used to compare fractions. I draw a line measuring 1 inch. The first fraction has a denominator of 2. This means 2 equal parts of the whole. The numerator is 1. I label 1/2. On the top of the number line, I label each 1/4 of an inch because the denominator of the second fraction is 4. The numerator is 3. I label 3/4 on the number line. 3/4 is further along the number line than 1/2. This means 1/2 is less than 3/4. We can also use the number line when ordering fractions and mixed numbers. Let's add a third fraction to the mix. We have marked 1/2 and 3/4 on the number line. I use a different color to mark the eighths. Then I label 7/8. Now I am able to put the fractions in order from least to greatest. The number that comes first on the number line is 1/2, followed by 3/4, and then 7/8. When comparing mixed numbers, start by comparing the wholes first. We see 2 mixed numbers here that are equal to 1 and some fractional part. The third fraction doesn't have any wholes, so it is automatically the smallest. Now let's compare 1 and 3/4 and 1 and 7/8. I am going to find a common denominator to compare these two values. I can make an equivalent fraction for 3/4 using a denominator of 8. 4 times 2 equals 8. I multiplied on the bottom, so I need to do it to the top. 2 times 3 is 6. This gives me an equivalent fraction of 6/8. Compare the numerators to determine which mixed number is larger. The mixed numbers and fractions will be ordered like this: 1/2, 1 and 3/4, and 1 and 7/8. Fractions and mixed numbers can be made easier with models and number lines. Use them when comparing and ordering fractions and mixed numbers. Enjoy your practice.